Hi, Stars fans. Welcome to another episode of the Mighty Melbourne Stars podcast. I am Mighty Melbourne Stars as always, and I am joined by.
Jacob here, guys, from Melbourne Stars News, and we're also joined by co-host Josh. Today we are going to be reviewing the BBL 15 international draft that took place yesterday, June the 19th. Some big names out of the draft, a lot of big unexpected signings, and also a lot of familiar faces returning to many clubs around the league. But yeah, we're going to get straight into it. I'll hand over to Heath to get us started. We're going to answer a few questions and really just share our thoughts on what was an interesting draft.
Okay, so as you guys know, and as everyone knows, we picked up Harris Ralph, Tom Curran, and Joe Clark. Obviously, three familiar faces of the club. I just want to get you. We'll do one player at a time. So we'll get us started with pick 7 with Harris Ralph. What was your guys' thoughts on Harris Ralph? Did you guys want us to pick up someone different, or were you happy? Were you not? Or what was your overall opinion?
Um, Overall, I'd say I was pretty happy when the Strikers went to retain. Sorry, not retain. When they went to select him with pick number 2, I was initially a bit surprised. I didn't think they'd target a player like Harris Ralph, just based on the other options that they had. But I wasn't surprised at all to see us retain him. I think it was our game plan going into it, to retain him in round 1, as we did have a later pick. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I mean, initially, I know me and Heath weren't too pleased, and that wasn't any hate to Harris Ralph. It was just I was looking forward to seeing somebody new at the club, a different face that could potentially bring some energy. But when I look at the form that Harris Ralph's been in the MCL over in the United States, and also a lot of international cricket for Pakistan, I mean, I understand why our management picked him up. He's been phenomenal for them, and he's in some incredible form. And how well does he play in Australia? We've seen it both at an international level, in those T20s and ODIs, and also in the Big Bash. This is his 5th season with us. So, no, I'm really pleased with it. What do you think, Josh?
Uh, yeah, I wanted to pick up Harris Ralph again. I think he's an OG international for the Melbourne Stars. Obviously, he loves playing at the G, and we know we love him at the Stars. So I couldn't have seen him anywhere else but the Stars. So yeah, really happy with that pick.
Very good. I love your opinions. I honestly, well, when I first saw that we picked up Harris Ralph, I was like, really? Again? Like, we could have picked someone different, but no. Like you guys said, I understand why we picked him up, as he's an OG and his highlights speak for himself. But as I have reflected, I've come to the conclusion that I was very happy that we got House Ralph. Like Josh said, we couldn't see him anywhere else but the Stars. And when the Strikers tried to pick him, we were like, nah, no, thank you. He's coming with us, and you're not getting him. So I loved that jab at the Strikers. So it was pretty funny. So the next player we picked up was Joe Clark. Obviously, we know what he can provide. So my question is, were you guys surprised that we picked up Joe Clark? Did you want to see someone else in Team Green, or what was your thoughts and opinions?
Look, actually, I'll let you go first this time, Josh. I stole it from you last time, so I'll hand over to you.
That's all good. Look at Joe Clark. Obviously, I love him at the Stars. He's a great batter. He's in really good form. I was sort of expecting to see like someone else, maybe like a Dan Lawrence or someone like that. But no, overall, I'm really happy with the pick of Joe Clark, and also he's a wicket keeper as well. So if we can get rid of Sam Harper, no hate to Sam Harper, and then put Joe Clark, well, it's a win-win.
Yep. No, I agree with that. I think Clark will likely replace Harper in the team. I think we strategically took Joe Clark as that second keeping option, but he will be our main keeping option, as I think Sam Harper's time at the Stars is potentially done based off that signing of Joe Clark. And, for my thoughts on Clark, I have a lot of mixed opinions. I mean, in BBL 11 and 12, he was phenomenal for us, 2-time player of the tournament, for the Melbourne Stars, and he was one of our leading run scorers across the competition. He even made 100 in his first game of BBL 12 off just 46 balls, I believe. So incredible stuff from him, and he is a proven performer. Now, a lot of people have been judging him off recent form, in BBL 14 where he filled in for those first 2 games. Look, he had a pretty solid game at the MCG against the Brisbane Heat. He made 30 odd and he was looking really promising. Now, obviously, that game against the Scorchers was shit, but I'm not going to judge him off one bad game. So, look, I'm pretty happy with the signing. I think we needed an opening batter. That was pretty obvious. We really didn't want Harper and Rogers going at it for a second straight season. So, look, I think we went into the draft targeting him because of that reason, because he was a top order batter. And yeah, we were able to land him. So I'm pretty pleased with it. I'm interested to see how he performs. I don't think we'll get him back if he does poor, but he could be someone that could sign on for a bit longer if he continues that good form in the BBL, but who knows?
Yeah, no, I love your thoughts and opinions on that with Joe Clark. I'm happy with him at the Stars. Obviously, he went to the Renegades for a bit. We know how that went. I just like he's in Team Green. I can't see him anywhere else. And I want to get your guys' opinion on the recent backlash from fans on social media with Clark. Do you reckon that was a bit harsh on their part, or what do you guys think?
Well, I think it wasn't just with Joe Clark. Obviously, it was predominantly, but it was also a lot of backlash on Tom Curran and Harris Ralph. Now, I'm not going to say too much just for reasons. I don't want to get into it with the club or any players. But yeah, I mean, I think there's no going back now. We've already signed the players. We can't unsign them. The fans can't make the changes in the comment section. It's not how these super leagues work. We just have to accept our draft picks and see how he goes. So I don't really have too much to say about that. But we just got to back our players in. What do you guys think?
Um, yeah, I totally agree with you, and I'm happy with the players we got. As I think of it, if they went to another club, they could easily verse us and absolutely smash us. So I'm happy with the players that we got.
Yeah, no, that's very good. I honestly agree with the both of yous. So we used one of our picks on our pre-signing, Tom Curran. What are your guys' thoughts on him? And do you reckon he will improve us a great deal, or do you reckon he will just be a middle of the road player who gets in for the sake of it?
I think it's a bit of a mixture. It's very hard to tell based off his last season, but I want to make it clear to a lot of people, not you guys particularly, but more the fans that ask me a lot of questions that are hopefully listening to this. He was a 2-year pre-signing, so everybody's arguing why did we bring him back? He automatically got signed on for BBL 14 and 15 back this time last year, so it was guaranteed that he was going to be back. So I'm not sure why people are giving hate to the club about that when it was already known well in advance. But anyway, I personally think, he's not a bad signing. I think we need an all-rounder, a permanent all-rounder. And TC brings that. Now, is he injury prone? Hopefully not. We know he's had injuries in the past, but I'm pretty happy with his performances when he did play. So yeah, I'm hoping to get a full season out of him, and we just got to hope for the best. I mean, we got to trust him. He is an international player at a high level. What do you guys think?
Yeah, look, with Tom Curran, I know with his bowling at the start of last season, it's pretty poorly, the bowling. But then once he come back from his injury, he just started getting wickets, and yeah, he was doing good for us. So I'm happy that he's back at the club. I hope he's not injury prone this season. But yeah, we just could see what he does.
Yeah, no, that's very good. Love your opinions. I also agree with the both of yous. He was a slow starter, but then he grew into his role as a stars player as the comp went on. Obviously, that was pretty good from him. So just to recap, we picked up Harris Ralph, Tom Curran, and Joe Clark. So any final thoughts with the draft, and are you guys happy? And what overall like hopes and aspirations of the Stars going forward in BBL 15?
Yep. I do have a couple questions to add on to that for you guys, and it's similar to what you just asked, Heath. It's kind of with these 3 selections, what do you think they are going to bring to the team? Do we think we made the right selections? And how are they going to help benefit us into winning our first title? Me personally, I'll start off. I think Harris Ralph really will benefit us with the loss of Joel Paris. We needed to replace him with another pace bowler, and we did that, and we probably got a better alternative in terms of Joe Clark. I know he's not favoured by the fans, but to be honest, I think he's a shit ton better than Sam Harper or Tom Rogers. So, I'm happy with the positive replacement. He's been proven to do well in the BBL, so we got to stick to that. Whether it was 5 years ago or it was 2 years ago or it was today, it doesn't matter how long ago it is. We just have to trust that. He's still young enough. It's not like he's old and washed like people are making him out to be. Tom Curran, I don't really have too much to say about that. This is our pre-signing, so we kind of got to wait and see, but I'm hoping that he just brings a bit of firepower from both sides, bat and ball. And one other thing I'd like to talk about is these guys all have full availability, including the finals, which is, I think, a major factor for the BBL in selecting players. So, what did you guys think? What were your overall thoughts on those selections, and how do you think they're going to benefit the team?
I'll state a few things from all 3. I think Harris Ralph will come in. He'll obviously get the wickets for us that we need. Joe Clark has obviously got that batting power that we need up in the top order. And Tom Curran will be, good number 6, number 7 player to come into that batting order. So he'll help out with that. They're all pretty good.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. Harris Ralph will bring a lot of professionalism, and all 3 of them will bring experience, consistency as well from all of them. Harris Ralph, I reckon, will be our leading wicket taker. I reckon Joe Clark will help fire up our batting order, especially in the middle to the top end. And Tom Curran will just come in and take wickets, same as Ralph, and they'll bring a lot of experience and X factor to the team. And I also want to get your guys' opinion on. So we signed those 3, and with our how you reckon where in the bowling and batting do you reckon Ralph and Curran will be placed, and same with Joe Clark in the batting? Will he help out Glenn Maxwell at the top, or do you reckon he'll be that anchor?
I think Joe Clark will definitely be a firepower, not so much an anchor. I think his strike rate's quite high. I know we lost Bo Webster, who was more of an anchor, the innings kind of player. But I think Joe Clark attacks early in the power play. And that's exactly what we need as long as he stays in. We need those early runs because we've been short of that the past few years. I think Joe Clark will be our leading run scorer for the tournament. Harris Ralph, as you mentioned, our leading wicket taker. And I think he'll bowl those death overs with Tom Curran. I'm not sure about the power play, who will bowl them, but I know he'll probably definitely bowl in the power surge with TC.
Look, I think we've got a really good and dangerous roster for other teams to come up against. I think our bowling trio, Harris Ralph, Tom Curran, Mark Steckity, they're going to really bring us some good wickets. And, Joe Clark up on the top order, coming into the power play, I think he'll definitely score us a lot of runs. I don't think he'll be our highest run scorer. Again, I think it'll probably be Glenn Maxwell. But, we'll see how they go.
Yeah, no, that's it's very good. Love your opinions. It's good to get your 2 cents. So with obviously us making finals last year, I'll get a bit of a prediction on the Stars. Do you guys reckon what's a pass mark for this year? Do you reckon it's going forward, pushing further, into a sort of a challenger type, or did you want us to make the whole thing, or what's your overall prediction, and what's our biggest weakness that we need to overcome in us to be competitive in games and not just shit the bed whenever things go south?
It's a good question, Heath. I really like that. Look, I think a pass mark originally was to probably win a final. I think we have taken a little back step in comparison to last year with our signings. So now I'd say a pass mark is just to make finals. But then saying that, we made finals without Ben Duckett. Tom Cullen was fresh off an injury, without Dan Lawrence. Osama Mir, actually, no, he was there. But, we were missing a lot of internationals in that late part of the season, and we were still able to make finals. Now, yes, without Ben Duckett, we probably wouldn't have made finals just because we wouldn't have won the amount of games. But, I mean, you still have to trust your team. We have so much domestic talent, and if that firepower chooses to fire, then we're unstoppable. But it's just getting Maxwell and Stoinis and, Cartwright and all those other guys into a rhythm where they're actually being more consistent, because I think the last few seasons we've seen inconsistency. He'll go on for 80 runs one game and then be a duck the next game. And, that comes with T20 cricket. I know that, but I think we just need more consistency as a team with a weaker batting lineup, I'd probably say. And I'd also like to mention, are you guys happy that we have signed international players with full availability? Because the last few seasons we've had players coming and going for 2 games, 5 games, 8 games, and it just hasn't worked come finals time, and we haven't really been able to make finals. So do you think that helps us or no?
Full availability definitely helps us. I think, obviously, being an international player and you're playing finals for the BBL, they've got that experience to get your run rate up there. I just think our pass mark, top 3, top 4.
Yeah, no, that's very good. Love the I love your 2 cents. Always makes me smile. For me, the pass mark based on last year, we have to make finals again. Like you see the good teams, the Brisbane Heat, the Hurricanes, the Scorchers. They always make finals, and they're always there every single year. And we have to be those teams. We have to show up, and we have to be like, oh, we're actually going to be a threat this year. And it helps with having players that are available and not going out of our side, because I reckon that damages our momentum, like going into games, and especially if we want to make a run. And consistency is going to be very important, because we can't have the same start again. Otherwise, it's just going to be a rinse and repeat of we're going to be slow out of the blocks and then have to regain momentum. It's just we have to start a season on fire. There's no other words to describe it. It's either we go big or we just going to have to chase tail every game pretty much.
Yeah, I've also got something else to add on to that. I think definitely to succeed our pass mark, we don't want to lose 5 games and win 5 games. I think if we can win at least the first 2 to 3 games, then we're in a good position.
Yeah, no, definitely. Obviously, final thoughts, guys, before we wrap it up.
No more, just go Stars, I guess.
Yeah, I don't really have too many thoughts. I think we've shared most of it. And yeah, overall, it's been positive. But yeah, I guess thank you all for listening to another episode of the Mighty Melbourne Stars podcast. We really do appreciate all your support throughout the draft, and some big episodes coming your way in the next month. So look out for that.
Yeah, definitely. Go Stars, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as well. Always helps.
Thank you, guys. Go Stars.
Sweet, go Stars. Cheers.
What you doing? You just wanna